Oh, sweetie, it's okay. You don't have to be the best at hide and seek.
Hey you, wake up! Oh, I sure hope Switchfang won't be angry with me if he finds out about this.
Find out about what, Dredge?
Sir, I'm so sorry. I found that person you were looking for, and I took a rock
Calm yourself, Dredge. I do things at my own speed. You know this. Now, tell me, what is it that we have here?
Well, Master, this person intended to break in.
Yes, I can tell. You really banged the truant up, didn't you? How many times have I told you to be careful?
Of course. How silly of me.
Quite. Now, be a good little servant and make yourself useful. I've been reading the mind of this one, and it makes me realize that I could be a while. You remembered the drill for these situations, correct?
Yes, Master. Stack any papers that come in.
Neatly, Dredge. Neatly.
Yes, neatly. And hold all calls until you get back.
Don't forget, if anything serious happens, it's not serious enough. I will return if and or when it becomes absolutely necessary. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. Now, away with you. I must tend to our little thief privately. Poor thing. He works so hard to please me, he ends up making more trouble for himself. Although I do believe his efforts were not for naught this time. By the way, I know you're awake. You may have Dredge fooled, but I know when someone is sleeping or dead. Oh, shh, don't speak. I already know what you're going to say. Could you not hear me earlier? I did openly state that I can read minds. I've never tried to hide that fact. I find it really does instill at least a small sense of fear into people. Their minds start wandering when they hear those words, to all the deep, dark little secrets that they tell themselves not to think about. But then they immediately start thinking about them. It's quite ironic, really. Ever heard of red button disorder? It's a mental disability from ancient Earth that causes an insatiable desire to do the opposite of what you are supposed to do. Typically, those who have had it live rather short lives. Of course, no one has it now, but the point still stands. Tell people something like, "Don't look at me, don't touch that," or "Don't think about that," and they'll immediately do the opposite. Or, at the very least, think about what would happen if they did. It's very useful when I need a way to torture someone. So, what are you thinking about, I can only wonder? Oh, you are clever, aren't you? Forgive me, but I do find it hilarious when I ask people and they tell me lies, knowing full well I already know exactly what they're thinking. It's quite amusing. Now, enough beating around the proverbial bush. Let's get down into why you're here. I'd like to start by posing a question. A very important question. Did you really think breaking into the most secure building in all of Thunderhive would be that easy? I am insulted. First of all, you do realize that Thunderhive was deemed a neutral zone for piracy by the sacred decrees of the Pirate King himself, right? No, I suppose you wouldn't, since you aren't from around here. I don't need to read your mind to know that, of course. I can tell just by looking at you that you aren't exactly fully human. You have quite a few other species mixed into your DNA. I detect hints of Circes, Morval, and a little ancient apparent as well. How curious. Either you're the result of one very interesting evening, or... yes, you're the result of an experiment. How very, very enticing. Dr. Arkov's Sosha no doubt was your mother, thereby making your name... how unfortunate. Yes, that makes sense. Most scientists lack the imagination to come up with a good name. Look at Sol 2, for example. The glorious star commander of the Land Star appeared to fall to New Pangaea from the star Sol 2. Oh, such an ugly name. And don't even get me started on New Pangaea. I must digress. To answer all your questions as quickly and efficiently as possible, yes, I know why you're here. I know who sent you, and I don't see how this plan of yours could have ever worked out. You have no skills in breaking and entering, let alone tactical espionage. It's a miracle you even got out of the Macbeth with your own life, let alone with your little friend Calamos. Honestly, nothing about this plan makes sense. Doesn't Yargwin realize that attempting to send someone to break into InfoVault will severely damage his reputation? He has essentially thrown away his status in Thunderhive. He'll be shunned by the others. The Flashheart Pirates will probably disband, and Black Epsilon would become the unquestionable leading faction. As far as I'm concerned, he's thrown his life away, as well as everything he's ever worked for no reason. Much like his father, I suppose. Nice try, but I caught that little thought of yours just before you pushed it away. No, just because he's thrown his life away doesn't mean I'm going to give you any freebies. Especially when the Pirate King himself asked me never to tell. Besides, why would I want Forks back? With him gone, a lot more business opportunities have arisen. I've become the most successful man in Thunderhive. Black Epsilon may have political power, but I can twist their arm any way I wish. Their power is mine. No one else in Thunderhive can say that. Also, you do realize that little Rift Rider suit of yours, the one you've been tasked with delivering to Captain Forks, it could send him even further away. Even if he succeeds, what makes you so sure he'll come back to this galaxy? He wasn't born here, you know. This place was not his true home. On top of that, he's lost a lot of friends here. Grips, Everest. So many painful memories. Of course, Yargwin doesn't know anything about this now, does he? In any other situation, I'd ask you to strike a deal with me, but honestly, there's nothing that I want from you. Anything I do want is in your mind, and I can just simply take it. So, what shall I do with the rest of you?
Master!
Dredge, I told you never to bother me.
Flashheart Pirates, pillage and plunder.
Is that Yargwin? What is the meaning of... Oh, he had me distracted. You're mere decoy fodder.
Hey, Switchfang, I'd like to make a withdrawal. Now give me back my crew member.
The noise from all these panicking minds. I'm completely unfocused. You. I'll deal with you later.
Sir, they're gonna blow up the archive.
I've got to get back into focus. Must pay attention. So hot. All these minds screaming.